All right, game week 16 is done. Not sorry to see the back of that game week either. Didn't have a good game week again at all. Although I feel like I kind of got away with it. I ended up having a pretty shocking week, but managed to get 55 points, which again is above that 50-point mark and is kind of bang on the average this week. So given that it was a bit of a disaster, the points ended up actually kind of trickling in over the weekend, and I'm not in a terrible spot. My overall rank is down to around 191k, so it's good to still be in the top 200k. Okay, so here's the team. Start with Wayne Hennessy in goal. Had another pretty average game. Palace have forgotten how to defend. It's disappointing, and what's really disappointing is that the two players I've got, Hennessy and Wan-Bissaka, are the two players whose form has kind of most noticeably dipped, and contributed to them conceding 3 goals in the last couple of games. So a bit frustrated about that. It's been a kind of a little partnership and pairing that has worked quite well for me. Wan-Bissaka is always one of those players that I think is going to come off and on the bench, and it's just a good player to have in the squad. But right now, Palace are looking very kind of poor at the back. Their confidence seems to have gone, and it's a bit of a worry. I mean, West Ham played okay. I really like the look of Hernandez. I nearly signed him before this game, and I thought, no, let's take the game where I know I'm going to be watching Palace play West Ham and figure out whether he's the guy to get in on Arnautovic's absence, and missed the boat, missed out on a goal there, which is frustrating. The rest of my defenders actually did a pretty good job for me. Bellerin got a clean sheet. Doherty got that last-minute winning goal. Wolves still can't keep clean sheets, which is a little bit worrying, but Doherty keeps weighing in with these attacking points, which is great. Andrew Robertson did great, obviously, in that 4-0 win that Liverpool had at Bournemouth, which I just did not see coming. I thought Bournemouth were going to win that game. Got a clean sheet and an assist and bonus points for 11 in total, which is fantastic. And then Marcus Alonso got a clean sheet against Man City again, which I didn't see coming. I guess I kind of misread the fixtures this week. I thought that City would find it pretty comfortable to get past Chelsea, and I thought that Bournemouth were going to put up much more of a fight against Liverpool. Even now, even though the games have happened, I still think that was probably the right thing to think going into the weekend, based on form and kind of how the team's been playing. But, none of us are magicians. We can't look into the future. You trust your instincts, but, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out. This was another one of those weekends. And it's frustrating when that happens on weekends as well, where there's a whole load of kind of surprising team news and rotation. I'll get onto that in a sec. Bernardo Silva and Sterling obviously didn't bag any points really in that game against Chelsea, which is a bit frustrating. Eriksen got dropped. I came so close to signing Son instead of Eriksen, and it's really blown up in my face over the last 2 game weeks. It's very frustrating. I guess maybe I didn't really think about the Champions League enough. I expect Eriksen will start against Barcelona now this midweek, and that they're trying to get as much value out of Son as they can before he goes away on international duty. So I'm really bummed about that. He's cheaper too, so it would have been just a better move all round. But hey, these things happen. Richarlison thankfully got a goal for me in Everton's 2-2 draw. And then Aubameyang got an assist finally right at the end of that Arsenal game, which gave him the 5 points. I captained him, so I got 10 from him. Obviously the weekend was all about Mohamed Salah and owning him and captaining him. And again, like I said, I didn't think that game was going to go the way it went. So would love to have either 21 or 42 points coming from him this week. And anyone that doesn't have him is having a shocking game week in comparison. So it's frustrating. But I've got to look on the bright side. I didn't captain or own Kane, who also sat on the bench and then came on for just 1 point. I didn't captain Sterling. Would have been nice to own or captain Hazard. He's a player that is frustrating me. I kind of want him, and every time I want to get him and don't, he gets points. And every time I've owned him, he doesn't really seem to do anything. And it's just, I don't know, he's my curse this season, I think. Obviously, I was gutted that Callum Wilson didn't make it into the starting lineup at all for that Bournemouth-Liverpool game. I mean, he probably would have been in trouble in terms of finding a goal in the way the game turned out. Yeah, look, they lost 4-0, so he probably wouldn't have bagged, but frustrating. So I don't really know what to do about him now. And I'm kind of stuck in this position where I've got Wilson, who's an injury doubt, and Arnautovic, who's definitely out for a while, so I'm going to have to do something about those guys. I'm thinking about Hernandez for the next game, but we'll see. West Ham's fixtures are nice, and they are doing quite well and scoring some goals at the moment. If I could find some room in my midfield for Felipe Anderson, I think I'd think about that too. Although I think he's overperforming his stats a little bit right now, so I'm not entirely sure that that's what I really, really want to go for. And I think there are maybe some just as good, or if not better, options in midfield. Okay, let's have a look at the 5-5-3 league. I've slipped a place from 5th to 6th. bit disappointing, but not surprised in some ways. Great week for Charlie, who jumped above me in the league. Great week for Mario, who's now top of the league and the first player in our league to break the 1,000-point mark. So congratulations to him. And then a great week for Ashik, who got 101 points in this week and was the top scorer in our league. Also, maybe a little shout out here for Andrew Holland, who has been occupying a couple of the spots towards the bottom of our league recently, but I think he's got his team into some really good shape. He got a great score this week, 80 points, and has lifted himself off the bottom of the league. And who knows, I think he might end up having a little run at the middle of the table now, because his squad looks good. When I'm having a look at some of these teams that you guys have got, I like your teams more than mine in many ways, even though I've been doing pretty well recently. So I don't know. We're going to have to see how it goes. I need Man City to click again, and a couple of my kind of slightly less owned players to start bagging more points. Anyway, look, that's it for this week. I haven't been able to watch replays of the games or highlights of the games yet from the weekend, so I can't provide the usual kind of like little insights that I do into those results. What I might do is do that over the next couple of days when work calms down a bit, and I'll share those on Twitter. I think on the screen right now, I'll share my Twitter handle for this channel. It's at 553FPL. Follow there. I'll share kind of my observations on the games during the week because they didn't make it into this video. I'll see you for game week 17. Good luck. I hope your teams do well. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. Do I bring in Hernandez for Arnautovic? Probably. We'll find out next week, I guess. All right, take it easy. Bye.